What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Crypto Insider. My name's Paul Sampson, and what a whirlwind the crypto markets have been. Honestly, I know I start off with a little bit of like excitement every time we have some of these big moves, but realistically, these are really normal in the crypto market, right? So up until recently, they've been normal in the stock market as well, right? So I got a really nice episode here for you. I'm kind of piggybacking off of my Saturday show where I covered a couple of altcoins. I think I was looking at the exchange tokens such as SushiSwap, 1inch, as well as Uniswap with that impulse move we saw on Friday. Today, I'm going to cover a couple of requests, right? So a lot of you had a nice bunch of comments on Saturday's video. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at a few of those that you requested. So it's going to be Hbar as well as Atom. And I am going to take a quick look. Won't spend too much time on it, but just because we've come into some big targets on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then I'm going to take a look at Ethereum Classic really quickly as well. All right, so Bitcoin, not much to say, right? So we were basically trading below this like $53,000 region right here for quite a while. Had a nice little consolidation. I was looking to see if we actually got a pullback from that region. We did not. And if we cleared that high, I was looking for one next major area, which was this yearly naked point of control, which once again is a volume target. And I derived that from pulling the fixed range volume profile tool over the year of 2021. And for that entire year, the most traded area on the chart in volume was actually at this level right here, right? So 57,300 and change. We closed that time frame off and we had never revisited that area. So that is known as a naked point of control, just a major volume target to be aware of once we re-enter a range, which is essentially what we've done here, right? We came up, back tested that range low, and in theory we would look for that naked point of control or seek out that point of control, and that's exactly what we've done, right? So we had a good slew of targets, kind of speed bumps along the way, see if we had any kind of pullbacks from them. Really the only one that gave us any kind of downside was this one right here, which was actually an old monthly naked point of control, as well as the overall gold pocket, right? From high to low down there, right? We kind of came into it there at the 49K area, ETF news, all that good stuff, kind of topped us off for a minute, 20% pullback right to the overall range value area low. So the range low, and then we've just basically just ran it from there. So, here we haven't had a major ejection quite yet. We had a pretty quick, pullback from this region when we came into it. We have not necessarily had that, reaction at the moment. So it's pretty much just consolidating right below. For here, it's just something to kind of be aware of. If we do clear this region, running the range is very much on the table at that point. There is an untapped monthly level just above us at 61.4, and then the overall range high comes in at 63. But this is a big area to kind of get through. So we haven't gotten through it yet. Definitely an area I'd be watching for. Now the altcoins have been definitely stealing the show, right? So ETH. Many of you may not know, but for me, I've been targeting this region, which, you would look at as just the overall gold pocket, a very simple target here, right, to come into. For me, I've been targeting this potential harmonic for quite a while, and it's known as a bearish bat. All right. Now, the reason it is bearish is because once it completes, even though the price action moving into it is bullish and exciting, when this completes, and this can actually extend all the way up into the gold pocket. And I've also noted a couple of other key levels here to the upside. So not the end all be all, but it's just something to be aware of for me, right? So I've, picked up a lot of Ethereum, and I've actually offloaded about 75% of my Ethereum. I picked up at 1,200 at this area here. And I'm looking for a pretty sizable pullback, and it's not gonna be overnight. This is like, maybe weeks to months. And like I said, we still potentially could push up into these areas here. But for me, this is a de-risking area. We've seen Bitcoin obviously push up exponentially. We've seen ETH now kind of catching up here, could still push up a little bit higher. And for this pattern specifically, don't want to cover too much on it. You can go to the harmonictrader.com and learn more. I touch on them, here and there. But for this, very simple, the target of this pattern, if we do start to break lower, would be actually down to this B leg and then the gold pocket. So that's why I have this like grayed area down here, kind of boxed off. The yearly average is down here as well. So this is our yearly target for the year of 2024. And Yeah, so that's kind of where I'd be looking there. And it would be a pretty monstrous move, right? This is like 30, 40, and potentially 50% from where we are now. So something to be aware of for sure. But let's look at the altcoins, right? So, while I have pointed out that Bitcoin and ETH have come into major targets, and I do want to highlight that Bitcoin and ETH actually came into two major targets together for once for over the last year, right? We had Bitcoin hit that yearly negative point of control and ETH complete this pattern at the same time, which is just something of note because otherwise, like, we've had kind of ETH lagging behind Bitcoin and Bitcoin just kind of clearing higher. So the two of them hitting major areas is just something that, I'm super cautious of at the moment. However, I'm aware that, if I do see these prices come back into light, this is something I'm looking like, months away. This could be like July, August, September even, right? So we could very well spend a few weeks, up in this area, maybe even crawling a little higher. And what that is going to allow is the altcoins to go wild, right? So I wanted to touch on Ethereum Classic really quickly. So this is a major range that we've been trading in. And one thing about Ethereum Classic is that when Ethereum pumps, Ethereum Classic is usually right behind it. And if you were to zoom out and just kind of get a glimpse of this, you could almost see like, an Adam and Eve double bottom, which is basically this, pattern that kind of shapes up right here. I usually call it the goldfish pattern or a rounded bottom, potential gold cup and handle, what have you, right? And that kind of almost tops right at the top of this range. Paying attention here a little bit ahead of time, it does open us up for a nice move that we can kind of, trade up into, and meaning that most people would probably look at ETH Classic once it gets to this region, look for that flip, and then get a breakout here when we can actually look to trade it from these regions here. So obviously we want to be paying attention at the range lows is generally where we want to, kind of scale in. For me, once again, it's like one of those times where you got to be like aware that Bitcoin and ETH may get a pullback here. But I do think that we'll see probably a spike out of ETH Classic up into this region. We've got a local gold pocket from this high to low, an untapped yearly level of horizontal resistance right here, stacked on that gold pocket. And then the dotted line that basically crosses in here is basically just the middle of the range, right? So we've got a couple of things of confluence right in this region. We've got a monthly naked point of control above that. And then you've got the range high coming in like $44. But for me, it's living above this 3-month level at this point, right? And then, I'm looking to challenge up. So we're basically flipping this level into support at the moment. I'm looking to challenge up into this $34 area, about 20%, give or take. Okay, Atom, very similar to the sushi chart, very similar to the chain link chart, which I don't know if I've covered on this channel necessarily, but tracking some of these alts over the course of a long period here. This is like since May of 2022. Basically just really range bound, bouncing off the lows, bouncing off the point of control. Ideal area to look for if we get it, and this is just something that, you might not get it right now, would be actually coming back down and tagging this like $7 area. Otherwise, it's, just pretty much range bound in the middle here. And then if you flip this major quarterly level here that I've got highlighted, which is right at the range high, and the way I identify that is if you go to the quarterly time frame, so 3 months, you can see here that we closed the quarter back here in 2022, opened, wicked above, wicked to it, have not closed above since, right? So this is a major quarterly level in my opinion, and it does come in right at basically the range high. So for me, if I'm not in a position on Atom, I'm really not looking to get too excited until probably we start to flip that $13. If I'm looking to just kind of scale in around these areas here, maybe I'm looking to get in now. Maybe I'll, look for the pullbacks here. Maybe if we get down to that $7, but for me, for the next, like the breakout opportunity is going to be living above that $13. We've got the Q123 high, but overall, I think we'd run it up to this high time frame average of price. This is 2023's pivot here. So this is the average of price from all of 2022 generated in 2023, and very likely that we come up and revisit that just above the highs here. And if we clear that, which is getting really ahead of ourselves, then we have some other areas up here. But in the near term, I would say it's pretty range bound. Nothing really crazy until we get above $13. Hbar, you can clearly see a little bit of a difference here, right? So we've had this really huge range that we've broke out of essentially. We cleared that 2023 high at the moment. You could look at this almost as a little cup and handle as well, right? If you're looking as a pattern here to look to with a measured move, and how we do that is just the bottom of the cup to the neckline essentially, put that over the breakout. and it takes us up into this area here. I would not overlook this 14 cents, however. So that's the average of price. Once again, high time frame average. It's a yearly average here that is untapped, marked by the asterisk there. So we've broken out. Maybe we get a pullback down to like 9 cents again, but I'm looking up to about 14 here. And if we clear that, there's the macro gold pocket, monthly naked point of control up at 19 cents, and then a monthly after that. So, but in the near term here, really paying attention. And a lot of the altcoins really are set up for like this 20 to 30% move across the board. So it's just, wouldn't get super greedy or just understand, how your trading strategy is at the moment, right? If you're not looking to do anything for the next couple months or weeks. If we get that push up, just know that this is a big level of resistance. It's going to be an area of, profit taking, potentially we get a pullback from here. And then overall, we'll make our way up into these areas here over time. All right. That is all I've got for you all tonight on this lovely Tuesday evening for the Crypto Insider. Hope you all enjoyed this. Be sure to tune in for the Saturday Crypto Insider as well, where I cover, basically just the weekend roundup essentially on what's going on in everything crypto. I'll be sure to kind of highlight a Tuesday moonlighter here on Tuesdays as well with some of the altcoins that you all choose in the comments from my Saturday video. So thank you all as always for viewing, for commenting, for liking, subscribing. Be sure to tune in for the next video. I'll see you all then.